The chamber of the Galactic Council was built to humble anyone who entered it. Its vast circular walls shimmered with the light of distant stars, each seat occupied by a representative of a different world. The air carried a quiet arrogance, a belief that nothing new could surprise those who had seen civilizations rise and fall across millennia. At the center of the chamber stood a single human. Her name was Lyra. She wore a simple flight suit, worn at the edges, marked by patches of repair. Compared to the elaborate robes and armored skins of the council members, she looked almost insignificant. That was exactly how they saw her. A murmur passed through the chamber. The council had gathered to evaluate Earth's request for full membership. Humanity had reached the stars only recently, and many believed they had done so too quickly, too recklessly. Their technology was inconsistent, their methods unrefined, and their history filled with conflict. Lyra had been sent as their representative, not a diplomat, not a politician, a pilot. The tall figure from the outer ring leaned forward, its voice echoing like metal grinding against stone. "You expect recognition," it said. "Yet your species barely understands the balance of the galaxy." Another voice followed, softer but sharper. "Humans are impulsive. Your kind acts before thinking. You are not ready." Lyra did not respond immediately. She stood still, hands behind her back, her eyes scanning the room. She had expected this. The briefing had warned her. The council did not respect strength they had not tested. "And what do you propose?" she asked calmly. A ripple of amusement spread through the chamber. One of the elders spoke, its form glowing faintly blue. "We propose a demonstration. A test of capability. A simple task, if your kind is as capable as you claim." No. The chamber shifted, the floor beneath Lyra transforming into a projection of space. A dense field of debris appeared, fragments of shattered ships and drifting asteroids forming a chaotic maze. At the center of it all floated a small object, a target, the elder said. "You will navigate this field and strike it. No assistance, no corrections. One attempt," another voice added with a hint of mockery. "Many have failed this test, even among us." Lyra looked at the projection. Her eyes narrowed slightly as she studied the layout. The debris field was not random. It shifted subtly, its movement influenced by hidden gravitational pulls. The target itself was small, barely visible. It was not a test of power, it was a test of precision. She nodded once, understood. The council seemed almost disappointed by her lack of hesitation. Moments later, Lyra stood inside a small interceptor craft. Positioned at the edge of the real debris field, the council observed remotely, her massive chamber replaced by a live feed of her ship inside the cockpit. Everything was quiet. Lyra's hands moved across the controls, not rushing, not hesitating. The systems responded instantly. Though they were clearly less advanced than those used by most council species, a voice crackled through the comm. "You may begin." The engines ignited, her ship surged forward. Entering the field at once, the chaos became real. Massive chunks of metal drifted unpredictably, some spinning slowly, others tumbling end over end. Smaller fragments streaked past like bullets. The gravitational distortions tugged at the ship, threatening to pull it off course. The council watched closely. At first, they saw what they expected. A human ship. Moving too fast, too bold, too reckless. "She will fail," one observer said. But then something changed. Lyra adjusted her trajectory. Not by slowing down, but by leaning into the chaos. Her movements were not cautious, they were instinctive. She did not try to avoid every obstacle. She used them. A spinning fragment became a shield against incoming debris. A sudden gravitational pull became a slingshot. Accelerating her forward, her ship twisted and rolled through gaps that seemed impossibly narrow. The margins were razor thin. One mistake would end the attempt instantly. The council grew silent. "She is not following optimal paths," one voice noted. Another responded. "Quieter now. She is creating them." Inside the cockpit, Lyra's focus was absolute. Her breathing steady, her eyes tracking dozens of variables at once. The ship was an extension of her body, every movement precise. Every adjustment, deliberate. She was not calculating in the way the council expected. She was feeling it. The target came into view. Still distant, still obscured by drifting debris. A warning signal flashed. A massive chunk of wreckage shifted suddenly. Blocking her path, there was no time to reroute. Gasps echoed through the observation channel. She must abort, someone said. But Lyra did not slow down. Instead, she accelerated. Her ship shot forward, heading straight toward the obstruction at the last possible moment. She fired a short burst from her side thrusters, rotating the ship just enough to slip through a narrow opening as the debris closed in around her. The clearance was less than a meter. The council watched in stunned silence. No one spoke now. The target was directly ahead, but the field was not. Finished with her. A cascade of smaller fragments surged toward her ship. Too many to dodge individually. For a brief moment, it seemed inevitable. Then Lyra did something unexpected. She powered down her main engines. The ship drifted. The incoming debris passed around her. Their trajectories altered just enough by the absence of thrust. She used the field itself as protection. Then, with perfect timing, she reignited the engines. The ship surged forward. One final time, the targeting system locked. Her finger hovered over the trigger for a fraction of a second. Then she fired. The shot cut through the void. Precise and unwavering, it struck the target dead center. For a moment, there was nothing. Then the chamber erupted, not in cheers, in silence. The feed showed Lyra's ship exiting the debris field. Intact, steady, as if the chaos behind her had never existed. Back in the council chamber, the representatives sat motionless. The elder who had proposed the test finally spoke. That was unconventional. Another voice followed, imprecise. A third voice, quieter but firmer, interrupted, no. It was something else. Lyra stood once again at the center of the chamber, her expression unchanged. You asked for a demonstration, she said. That is how humans fly. The tall figure from before leaned forward again, but this time there was no mockery in its voice. You rely on instinct. We rely on adaptation, Lyra replied. We do not always have perfect tools. We do not always have complete data. So we learn to work with what we have. A pause. And sometimes, she added, we turn chaos into an advantage. The council members exchanged glances. Their silent communication spanning languages and species. One of them finally spoke. Your method carries risk, Lyra nodded. So does doing nothing. The chamber fell quiet again. This time, it was a different kind of silence. Not dismissive, not arrogant, thoughtful. The elder rose from its seat, its glowing form brightening slightly. Humanity has been underestimated. There's a shift in the atmosphere, subtle but undeniable. Respect, not complete. Not universal, but present. You are not like the others, the elder continued. You do not follow established patterns. You challenge them. Lyra said nothing. She did not need to. The demonstration had already spoken for her. After a long moment, the elder gave a small nod. The council will reconsider your application. It was not a full acceptance, not yet. But it was no longer a rejection. As Lyra turned to leave the chamber, the same voices that had mocked her now watched in silence. Some with curiosity, some with caution, and some with something close to admiration. Because they had seen something they could not easily define, not just skill, not just courage, but a way of thinking that refused to be limited out in the vast expanse of space. Where certainty was rare and survival often depended on the unexpected, that difference mattered as Lyra returned to her ship. She allowed herself a small breath. The hardest part was not the test, it was being seen, and now for the first time. They had truly seen her, not as a curiosity, not as a lesser species, but as something new, something unpredictable, something dangerous in the best possible way. The engines of her ship hummed softly as she prepared for departure. The stars stretched out before her, endless and waiting. Behind her, the council would debate, analyze, and argue. But she already knew the outcome, because one shot had changed everything, and the galaxy would not forget it.